Act 1, take 1, action. My first question, first of all, overall, really not that bad. Very tense and creepy. This was the thing that I think you were probably going to think too. What the hell did this woman have? Like, she said she was sick. Is that your question or no?
No, my question is more broad, actually, and they kind of answer in the movies. They kind of answer in the movies. They kind of answer in the movie, but like, what did she want with the kids?
That was that kind of ties into my thing. It's like I
obviously, like, listen, because obviously she's sick. She's not feeling well, but like, is she? Because I thought that was kind of. I feel like we're jumping very far ahead. I feel like we should like give like an overall.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the movie, the kids were lured out at 217 by what the people did not know,
mm-hmm.
And it was just eventually it came to the conclusion that this woman who was the one kid that did not go missing's aunt was like
which we did not know about in the trailer.
Yeah,
that was not shown in the trailer.
Which she was controlling it all because of the fact that having these people under her spell supposedly gave her the strength she needed to like stay alive.
That's what I assumed it was. Because she said your parents can't help me.
Yeah.
And I thought that maybe she draws power from her victims and like adults were not good enough, but maybe the children were.
Yeah. Or like the quantity.
The blood of the youth to give her, I don't know.
I guess.
I mean, that's what I assume is like, yeah, she's dying and then she needs like youth to like keep her alive. And that's how she survives in like eternity. But like, it could also, but the movie's called Weapons. So it's like, I also am like, is that just a front for her to like amass an army of people that she, because it's like, I don't want to just like throw the title of the movie away and just be like, that had no point to be called Weapons because they were used as weapons, but like
but
was that why she wanted the kids as weapons or as like fuel or like
that's where I was like wondering. So my first thing was whenever it was revealed that she was putting them under this spell. I thought that like her appearance was going to be like manipulated by how many people like she had, like she was going to be like stronger and like look better or something like that. But she was just this decrepit old lady the whole time.
See, I was thinking that too when we were watching it. I think it might have a little bit. When she was visiting Benedict Wong, the principal, she did look. Well, no, because she had the kids at that point. But I don't know. I thought maybe her cheeks looked a little bit more full. Or at least when she was in the home or something. I don't know. She was wearing makeup most of the time. But
she seemed fine when she was like at the kitchen table telling Alex to sit down. Like she wasn't like keeled over dying. Like when she's like, there's points where she literally looks like she's about to die in the next like minute. And then like she's all of a sudden like this weird kooky aunt which is just like, I guess, her front for people to be like, oh, of course she's weird. She's just weird, she's weird. Just look at her.
Was she a witch? She was a witch, right?
Yes, absolutely. She was a witch. I don't know what else we call her.
Yeah.
She was some sorceress.
It's kind of it was an oddly twistless movie.
Yeah.
For having a mystery, there really wasn't a twist as much of an explanation.
Yeah, I was expecting, because the movie's broken up into chapters based on different characters, and I was expecting them all to tie together, and they did, but in this way that was like everything was kind of obvious, but you just missed it because you were focused on everybody's individual story.
It wasn't possible to guess. We didn't know Aunt Gladys existed. She just
there.
Waltzed in one scene. It's like, oh, actually, she's the reason for everything. Like, there really wasn't much of a.
I don't know if she pops up in everybody's chapter. I think she does briefly because she appeared on the ceiling.
Oh, was that her? That was her.
And then she appeared in Josh Brolin's Nightmare. And then she was in the woods.
Yeah, the kids are in the woods.
I don't think she was in Paul's, the cops chapter, though.
Other than him going up to the door, but we don't see her.
Yeah.
Like, he must have seen her.
She was in my favorite characters, James's, the goat. James. Who I was so happy to know he wasn't just like, what is, he had one line, which was just, hey, I'm trying to get a bus ticket for my brother. I was like, this guy, he's going to be a star someday.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah,
his
thing was where I was really confused because she was actually in the woods. Like he didn't just see her. Like she was actually out there.
Yeah, what was she doing out there?
Yeah, that's what was confusing because she's in a dream for
both of them.
But the teacher, Archer.
He was high though, because he smoked crack.
But he saw her. How did he hallucinate her?
That's true. So that was a little confusing to me. Another thing that I noticed, Matthew, Josh Brolin's son, was the bully.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys didn't notice that?
No, I noticed it.
I noticed his like long ass hair. I'm like, my God, that's such like a little haircut.
I thought they'd expand on it, like almost. I don't know.
I think it just showed like I liked that they showed even like the victims is like they're not like angels. Like the main character, the teacher, like she's a selfish prick.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's not like, I mean, she's not like an asshole, but like she's not. She's has selfish desires, and she'll like totally like put her own needs in front of like other people. I think they'll show like, yeah, kids can be fucking assholes.
Yeah,
and they're also terrifying as shit. But they're like, yeah, they can be assholes, and you know, it's like I like that little aspect. That's like, you know, like when they were like picking on them, it'd be weird if they were all like holding hands, you know, like.
I just thought that when they had like a little scene showing him being a dick, that they might like. I don't know. I thought that would come back in some way, and it didn't.
When I saw them bullying, what was the boy's name? Alex, yeah. When they were bullying him, I thought, oh, okay. He was the only one that didn't get abducted, and he's going to tell his aunt, like, hey, these guys are bullying me or something. But then we switch it, and she, like, needs them for some unknown reason.
I think it was the quantity of the people. I don't know if it was the age. Like, I think that she just needed a bunch of people, like, under her spell.
Here's the thing, though. When I say, like, all right, she uses their life to continue her own, like, she, like, takes their lives and transplants it. We don't see her do that. We at no point see her do any sort of, like, ceremony. So, like, if she's gotten life from the kids, maybe that's why they can't speak. Maybe that's why they're, like, all, like, basically, like, catatonic, is because she's like just sucked their lives out from under them. But like we don't see that, so we're just left to assume, you know.
Yeah, there was that, and there were some significant items like the bell. I mean, obviously it triggered them, but it had like the 6 and the triangle on it, and then the tree that she was worshiping or something, like just meditating in front of. Maybe that was nothing. Oh no, that was the bush where she was getting her twigs from.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's where she saw James. That's where James saw her.
That's where
Alex got the wand at the end.
Which was interesting too, because like that proved that it really wasn't her that could just do it. Like he just took a branch off and he did it. That was really interesting.
It was just a ceremony, I guess.
Yeah.
An oddly specific ceremony where it involves you spitting into a bowl of water at one point.
And he had her wig, which was wild that worked.
The moral of the story, honestly, is if someone asks for a glass of water, you offer them a glass of water, and they say, no, I want a bowl. That is a sign. It's just like something is going. Something is going. That was honestly the most like, what?
That was a great scene because it was a great reveal. I think it was a great reveal for the power, like how it works.
It was cool. It was a cool,
and it was really
ceremony.
Sinister the way he was just like headbutting his husband into the ground.
Dude.
Oh, can we talk about the gore?
The gore was
so
really
good.
The gore was insane.
That was some of the best gore. Not like it wasn't crazy gore, like
it wasn't the focus,
but it was really good gore.
Oh, dude, when they would just show like, oh my God, like just like the corpse is like, oh my God, that looks disgusting. And like when they're like, oh, the ending when they kill like Aunt Gladys, by ripping her face apart.
Yeah,
like,
their eyes, dude.
That was when they grabbed the mouth and
the people's eyes looked so scary. And when she was peeling Paul's face, he didn't skip a beat. Nor did he skip a beat when she shot him in the neck. Like he kept going.
Yeah. And then the addict, he just kept getting knocked out and then
would just get up again.
Yeah, and he threw him across the room.
Yeah.
And he might have gotten up again.
Well, I like they show it's like they don't have superpowers. Like at the end of the day, he's still a skinny addict who has no strength, but he just can't get fucking knocked down.
I mean, he had Josh Brolin pinned at the top of the steps.
Yeah.
He only got out because what's her name shot him in the back of the head.
Yeah, but like he was still like, first off, Josh Brolin literally is the Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Like he is. They show like these people being indestructible, and then this guy is just with his fists taking them out.
Yeah,
like
he's punching the fuck out of them.
How has he not broken his fist multiple times?
Dude, when Benedict Wong was chasing the main character, the teacher, down the street, and that car like smokes him, she must have been flying.
Yeah,
because he was cut in half.
Yeah, bro. Like, I mean, he just ran in the middle of an intersection.
She was going like 70 miles an hour.
I liked the detail of him running out the door and like her going up to her car, her being Aunt Gladys. Because like he's booking it down the street in the background. And then there's like little scenes like put together showing the distance that he's going. Like he's running fast and his face starts to look crazier like as he's running more and more. He starts to look less human like as they
his
go.
Story?
As he's running.
Yeah.
Yeah, during his story. Like she puts him under the spell, she packs up her stuff and leaves. And he's just like running down the street through so many different situations or settings. And it was like towards the end you started to notice his eyes were looking crazier.
Yeah. That they showed that in the trailers, like his face for a brief minute. I didn't know if it was going to be a zombie movie or like some sort of possession or like something like that. It went in a different direction than I expected, but I wasn't really sure what this movie was going to be about when we went in.
Yeah.
So I have to like mention my one kind of major criticism of the movie. Like, if we're assuming this is like the real world, blah, 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 like, where the fuck's the media? Where's the fuck's the media? Like, let's just assume this is real. A random town in like Pennsylvania, they say. 17 kids Naruto ran outside their homes. No one knows where they are. They just disappeared into the night. This would be the most talked about news story in the country for the entire year.
But it was the beginning with the narrator. Like I understand that, but it's just the narrator kind of like dumbed it down. But that is true.
But they can't just be like, oh, we just didn't tell anyone. Like, what do you mean you didn't tell anyone? They had a memorial. Yeah. There were 17 kids. They didn't just like, they closed the school down. The news just be like, oh, yeah, I guess the 17 kids, like, that's not that interesting anymore.
Do you think they'd be talking about it after a month? Because during one of the chapters, they said it's been 30 days since the kids went missing.
They make entire Netflix series based like one woman falls off a boat and they make a Netflix series off of that. 17 kids in one classroom seriously disappeared into the night. Yeah. This is the craziest mystery in human history, if real.
Yeah.
And this would capture the imagination of YouTube videos. This would become the legend. Like, there would be cameras everywhere. YouTubers would be going out there. Influencers, like, we're going to the hunt. I'm sorry. This is like the one nitpick is like, where's the rest of the world when all this crazy shit is going on? Because at some point, it's got to be like, what the hell is going on with this town?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was very odd. And like, the dad being brought in when they were questioning him, and it's like, oh yeah, he suffered a stroke. It's like that doesn't look like someone who suffered a stroke.
What?
Alex's dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. That segues into one of my criticisms. I don't think she would be able to speak for the family. Like she said the son had the dad had a stroke. What about the mom? Like, why are they not questioning her? And then, I guess my biggest problem is with the police work.
Yeah, the real villains of the story seemed like the cops. They just were not trying.
Yeah, because
the journalists who were too busy with something else.
Josh Brolin pieced together by looking at the video footage.
Yeah,
the kids running in a certain direction, but the cops didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's like my biggest plot hole, I guess, that I noticed.
Yeah, there could have been more The problem is just, keeping people interested. The movie was already 2 hours and 8 minutes. If they were to include a lot of other stuff, it would have been much longer. But like, I do understand the concern. It's like, it almost seemed like they just were, well, that's it.
This
Our
happened.
month time frame is up. We gotta move on to other things.
This pocket, this pocket universe is having all this crazy thing. We're just, that happened. Like the rest of the world does not exist outside this town that is experiencing witches.
Right.
Which apparently this is the first time this has happened, even though I assume they've had to have done this before. Like, obviously, Aunt Gladys has some connection with Alex's mom's mom, Alex's grandma. They said that she's like related in some way. So that makes me think, okay, is Alex's grandma also a witch?
Yeah.
I mean, he must come from a family of witches. Right?
The husband in one of the car rides said that like he doesn't know her and the mom barely even knows her. And then when they're arguing in the bathroom and he's starting to like think that she's weird, she's like, well, my mom would do this for her, so I'm doing it. It's like it's very interesting that they just didn't know who she was.
Speaking of family of witches, if this happened in real life and like a teacher, all of her students go missing, I don't know if anybody would write witch on her car, so I'm wondering if like witches are prominent.
Well, Josh Brolin did that because he was pissed.
Yeah, but like, I don't know if maybe like.
And the paint went to waste.
I mean, to be fair, if I saw my kid just like being summoned, I'd be like, I don't know what the hell to call this either. I'd probably call witch too.
Yeah, that is true.
I would get really Salem witch trials up in here, like all of a sudden.
Because I don't know if people think about witches like that though, But I mean that makes sense because they saw them just leave the house, and it happened to every other kid. So yeah, I guess you would say it's witchcraft.
Someone probably yelled it and it caught on. They're like, "Yep, that's it."
I liked the touch where Josh Brolin was putting so much effort into this because he was so guilty about who he was as a father. I did kind of like that. Like in the dream, he's saying like I've always wanted to say it. Like I want to say it because I feel it, but I can't. Like he just doesn't know how to say that he loves his son. So like I kind of liked that.
Could explain why his son's like kind of an asshole too.
Yeah.
Could explain why the son's a dick.
That's a good point.
But he's the guy who has the most to regret with being a parent because he feels like he's not even doing a good job. So now he's going balls to the wall to save him.
I assumed he was like a soldier too and probably did horrible things because in that dream sequence there was the big gun above the house.
Yeah.
But and then on the gun it had the 217, and I don't really get the significance of it unless it was only the time that they left. Like everybody left at 217.
That is a very interesting thing. Like that little part where he just looks above the house and there's a machine gun.
I almost felt like it's like the dream's mocking him.
Yeah.
It's just like we like these are the things but like the gun was confusing to me.
At the end of the movie, I just thought to myself, like we discussed, like, oh, these people are just her weapons protecting her.
Right. But if the movie wasn't called Weapons and we saw that, I think we'd all be like,
He's the first person to say like these people are weaponized.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if maybe he got that from the dream, or I really don't know what else it could be because they're not weapons until Benedict Wong is used to kill his husband and the teacher, and then later.
Which, by the way, what a spread! What was that, like 7 hot dogs?
But yeah,
that shit was
the most immaculately put together spread of hot dogs.
Oh my God.
Like everything was just equidistant from each other. The perfect amount of mustard.
That man loves the principal. Like he was just serving.
That man loves cooking hot dogs. Yeah. Apparently, like I just throw them in the oven.
Spread of the mustard.
Like, oh my God!
Did you guys see they had matching shirts on too?
Yeah,
they just loved each other.
Oh, and he caved his head in with his own head.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy.
Act 2, take 1, action.
I did kind of like it though that like the humor worked because she wasn't this evil genius. She was just crazy. Like she was just a nutcase. So that's where it kind of worked. Where like at the end it ended almost in a funny, abrupt way.
See, I didn't think it was.
I kind of understood that.
Everybody was laughing, but I didn't think it was funny. It was like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I guess. It reminded me of that.
Running through the backyards.
Yeah.
I guess I can kind of.
It was
And the
just-
houses, but I'm not saying it's bad, but I personally didn't find it funny, but everyone else was laughing.
I did kind of think
It's the absurdity of the situation. Just seeing a horde of kids chasing this elderly grandma, and everyone's just like it's the reactions of the people in the house that are the most funny. Them just being like just imagine you're in this situation. Like you're just seeing, like, how would you even rationalize this in your brain? You're like, I don't even know what I could be witnessing.
And how she got Josh Brolin to turn so quickly. It just effortlessly got him.
Well, she did it to the cop too.
The cop?
Well, I guess he was in there for hours.
Yeah,
though.
the cop might have been really fighting. Because,
it's true.
Like, he didn't come out for a while.
Yeah, it was dark when he came out. And got the
you
other
know
dude.
what? I wonder if you guys were thinking the same thing. Before we really knew who Aunt Gladys was, because I'm pretty sure we saw the cop go in there and get possessed before we really saw her. Because we were introduced to her when she goes into the principal's office, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and another thing that flew over my head, as I'm literally saying this, she needed that ribbon of his in order to do what she did. And she looks at the ribbons.
That was a...
But, I thought that when he goes up to the door and he was talking to somebody, since we didn't know who Gladys was, I thought that, like, people just couldn't see that, or these people could just, like, on command become normal again, and they were just actually crazy. Because I thought the parents were the suspects before she gets introduced, Aunt Gladys. So when he's up at the door and you just see the door open and he's, like, talking to nothing, I thought that, like, they were tricking some people. That's how they were getting away with it, is because they could just manipulate people's minds almost, before I realized it really wasn't that level of supernatural.
I'll just say I'm so happy the twist wasn't it's the government. I would have been so upset if it's like the government's just turning them into weapons.
Yeah, the FBI.
They're gonna send them overseas.
You know, I was thinking
rip people's
that
faces off.
Because he asked like, the feds don't have anything, and he's like, yeah, no, they're working on it or something. When he's talking to the one police chief or whatever.
And Gladys did seem oddly scared of the CPS, Child Protective Services.
Yeah, and she's just afraid of any authority,
right,
like coming down, and because that was the thing. Like, she really had no plan. Like, she was just this crazy bitch.
That's what I say. Like, what was her motivation outside just living?
Control, just like I don't know.
I think
just a crazed woman who wanted control
for the
of
sake
everybody.
of living.
Yeah, just a lunatic.
It's my only, like, I feel like Aunt Gladys, by the way, great performance by the actress. Like, she was creepy and unhinged. Kind of just throw an explanation. I felt like
that's what I thought too.
Because she came out of nowhere. It's not like there was any, like, hints. And, like, if you point a gun to my head and, like, what's the reason, I would have been like, I don't know, witchcraft.
I guess. Yeah. Well, the hint was her appearing in the dreams, but it wasn't enough. It was just like, I thought it was just maybe a common nightmare thing, but it ended up being a real person.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you're right. I think they just
she just kind of showed up one scene. It's like, you have it 2:00, and then, like, the next scene we see her using magic, and then it's like, okay, like, now the mystery is all solved, except for why is she doing that?
Yeah.
And it's such a fun, for me, like, I thought it was just sort of fun and, like, almost kind of goofy. Like, it did not take itself too seriously. I felt like, but it's like, with the kids chasing, like, it was not afraid, but, like, yeah, that's like the one, like, nitpick. Like, I just feel like as a character, she kind of just showed up and was like,
yeah,
here's your explanation.
The movie did lose steam, and I'm grateful though that it happened towards, like, the end and not,
Well, I'm upset that it happened at the end, because that's when it's supposed to get resolved. I think Prisoners did this premise better. Have you seen Prisoners?
Yeah, where it's like think it's
the kids go missing, and there's, like, all the stuff that points to this thing, and then there's a misdirect. I think it's kind of the same thing, and I think it applies to this movie too. But there was just no misdirect. It was just kind of leading you to this answer as to why.
Well, Prisoners was the kids get kidnapped. Paul Dano and that other guy are suspects, but it turns out they're people that were kidnapped when they were kids as well, and they're, like, soldiers for this old lady.
It was the mom.
Yeah, That old lady, they're like soldiers for the old lady, so she can keep like kidnapping people. Yeah.
And they talk to her and stuff. I guess they did that in this movie too, but I think they tell you that she's evil from the jump.
I think it would have been interesting for them to dive into the her needing these people so that she can survive like a little bit more.
Maybe if she got her own chapter.
Like I don't know, this is a crazy comparison, but like in that Disney movie with like Rapunzel, how the grandma needs her to be around so that she looks young, but then if she's far away, she's old. Like this lady was hunched over with no wig on, thrown up into a bucket. And then the next scene when all these people show up, she looks exactly the same. Doesn't really, other than the makeup, seem like she's changed at all.
Yeah.
They were doing pretty good with CGI with the eyes and everything and making people look creepy as shit. So I don't know. I thought that's what it was going to be. Like she needed all of those people around to give her strength. And that should have been like physically seen.
I think that's just like almost to be assumed. But then if that's to be assumed, why is the movie really called Weapons?
Yeah.
Like outside of like a throwaway line, why is it really called Weapons?
Yeah.
Because that's not the purpose of why she's not assembling an army of weapons. She's assembling essentially a life support.
Yeah. She just wants to be protected by like her own little army.
Unless there's another deeper meaning, but I don't know.
I don't know either.
I feel like it wasn't a movie that was trying to be deep. I think it was a movie that was its setup and premise was so good. Like it's just the mystery alone was so good that it almost it was so afraid to take a risk and messing that up. I felt like that it kind of just settled on a very like easy like it's magic. Like, that's why the kids are doing this. It's magic.
I liked the one part where she's in her apartment making a drink and it keeps cutting to the TV with like Shark Tank on the screen. And they have like that product with like I don't know, looks like a string or something.
Yeah, it's like a string on a motor.
I was trying to figure out what that had to do with this. And then you saying at the end, like with the triangle.
When they introduced the teacher, I was like looking around her classroom and I saw Parasite written on the board.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to a different chapter with the principal. He's with his husband. And they're watching a documentary about cordyceps, which is a fungus that takes over your mind, or not us, but like insects. It takes over their mind and their bodies and just does whatever it wants. I guess that's
their way of telling us why. I guess that is their way of telling us what she's doing with them.
Yeah.
But then that really just makes my second question is like, why is weapons significant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that why was the gun in the dream? Why is that significant in any way?
And the triangle too. Because when the
PlayStation.
It looked like a PlayStation button when the title card came up.
Yeah.
Weapons, and then a triangle forms in there. And then you said the bell was a triangle.
Well, it had the triangle and a triangle on it.
And then when the credits appear, there's a big triangle on the screen, and it expands as the credits start to roll. So
maybe
I didn't know
it's the path of each group of kids.
Look,
but then they all wouldn't have intersected.
There's one thing that's guaranteed. There's going to be another movie. There's going to be either a sequel or a prequel to this movie.
You think?
Yes. I am
100%
100% sure they're going to be a prequel or a sequel. There's either going to be a sequel following where we see Alex, or there's going to be a prequel where we see Gladys.
I think the prequel with Gladys would be the better idea.
I feel like they might make both.
I mainly need an explanation on how she obtained this power and why she absolutely needs to keep doing this.
Okay.
I would place a bet right now, like that there's already a prequel written somewhere, or like I feel like a prequel. It just makes the most sense.
Yeah, if it's financially,
it'll be like X
worth it.
Like they had the prequel with I forget what the prequel was called, even though I loved it.
Pearl
was fantastic. And it's like there might be like that, like a prequel where you just kind of see the character develop.
Mm-hmm.
I had a theory when watching; it was disproven, but I thought it would be an interesting theory. I thought James was related to what's his name, Brolin's character. Like he was Brolin's son.
Oh,
he was the older And when he was talking to like what we thought was the son that ran away, he was actually talking to his old like son, the addict, in a way. He was talking to both of them. Like he's like, and then you could have seen like that would have given like extra weight to like, I'm sorry, you know, like his son's literally like in a tent, but it wasn't his son. It did. Yeah. I thought because he was going to that house specifically, it was like that's his home. Like he's returning to his home.
That's what I thought.
You know,
too.
I was like, oh wow, that's actually kind of a crazy deal. I'm like, never mind. He just literally he just randomly chose the correct house.
Well, he saw that the newspapers were in the driveway.
Yeah.
And he was like, nobody's home.
I wonder what the
But he had to
thud.
pass like 50 other houses to get to that house. is what
I
I'm
wonder
saying.
what the thud upstairs was. Do you remember that? He starts stealing shit
Gladys.
with them still on the steps.
Yeah, it must have been.
But it's like boom,
Gladys.
and it's like, and he looks up and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Because one of the doors
Alex.
was locked, wasn't it?
Yeah,
When he went upstairs.
it must have been Gladys like running into the room to like get control of the parents because they stand up and they start going after him.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. She might have just been like,
She might have been like, "We gotta,"
hurry.
Yeah.
Like, rush.
because he's packing up his shit, and then the parents in unison get off the fucking couch. The parents were really creepy to me. I thought the scene where she threatens the kid was brilliant. When she
The forks.
yeah, but she's also like, she's really trying to get him to realize what power she has. She's like, I can literally get them to eat each other if I want to. I was like, damn. And then they go back to the kid. By the way, brilliant actor. Never say this enough whenever I talk about movies. Like, where do you find a 5-year-old who can just, obviously he's not 5.
Also,
Where do you find a kid that young that can
I
just
would
put on a performance like that?
love to be half as mentally strong. Like I have a bad day. I have a bad night's sleep, and I am like mentally
Feed your parents.
distressed the next day. This kid is seeing his parents stab himself and went to school and kept this in. Didn't cry once.
The
For a
next
month.
scene, he's just on the bus, like, yep, on the way to school. And then they're like, yeah, feed your parents. There's soup in the cabinet. Just spilling half the soup on the ground, by the way. But like,
Huge spoon with noodles and like
Brought to you by
broth.
Campbell's.
I kind of would have liked it if it kind of went in the direction like the kid might be in on something. Other than him obviously giving her what she needed to control the children. I was ready for there to be like, is this kid really as innocent as we're making it seem?
Well, no, because he got them the stuff.
Yeah, but
But
he
like
was
he obviously
being
didn't want his
threatened.
parents to be. Yeah.
He's being threatened. What I'm saying is, I thought it would progress into like, oh, Alex isn't innocent at all. Because at first it looks like he is. I don't know if he like turned later on because he's the one who's in the dream, has the makeup on and he's smiling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was thinking to myself, is he in on it? Like,
Yeah.
is there something that he's doing?
Interesting. Maybe he did it by like, let's say, you know how like this is a weird example, but like kids go and they find their parents' guns and stuff. Like he finds his aunt's like magic stuff, and you know like as a kid, it's like someone's mean to you. It's like I hate that. Hope he's dead. Blah 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 blah. He almost like accidentally like maybe that would have been a stupid idea, but like he as a kid, you know, makes this horrible mistake that like
Right.
you know like he gets a hold of essentially his aunt's evil wand.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, the wand and him wearing the makeup. This is kind of speculation, but I forgot he wore the makeup in the dream or whatever. And I don't know, maybe it is like some kind of bloodline thing because if that's his aunt, it's probably his great aunt. He ends up using the wand at the end.
And
So
it
I
works
don't know
for
if it's
him.
like-
We've
yeah,
only seen him use it. We have not seen anybody else use that.
him and the aunt.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it could be like some bloodline thing. Because why else would he be wearing the makeup, like you said?
And why wouldn't she just control him?
Yeah.
If you think about it, sending him to school puts them as suspects. Why is he the only one that didn't get caught?
Yeah.
And she's so hung up on not getting caught. So why not also control him? If it is my theory and she just needs a larger quantity of people, he's just one less person that could be under the spell.
That's your
I-
sequel right there.
I think she needs someone to kind of be like almost the normal like minion who can operate in the real world without suspicion, because she kind of does, but she can't. She just stands out too much. Like,
Yeah.
So she kind of hides behind being a kook. And here she can literally be like, I need victims. You go out in the real world because you're just this unassuming kid. So I think that's the reason. Like, I'm just going to control this kid through fear.
Yeah.
And then like, I think that's the real reason. Like, she couldn't control him in a way that would be convincing enough. maybe that.
Yeah, he's just walking around like a zombie.
Yeah, he was like literally. They don't talk. They don't like. Never mind. Can we talk about what I think was the best scene of the movie, which was the car scene?
Yeah. The mom walking out of the front door with the scissors was
crap.
crazy.
That was scary.
Yeah.
When the door opened, because it was a great misdirect, because you think like, oh, she just scampered away, like blah blah blah. It's like a fake scare, and then you hear the door open, and it's like, oh no, she's like, and you see the scissors get really close. And I shield. I'm like, oh my god, she's about to cut her fucking eye out or something.
It was the last thing I was expecting. Somebody, just this creepy person, to just walk outside and just be like moving like that,
like waddled outside,
waddling like dude. That was the last thing I was expecting. And then that with the music on cue, right when she walked, like came into the light,
strings,
and then just her slowly making it to the car. Oh my god! And when she got in, she sounded so creepy. She sounded like a little animal. It was so creepy.
Okay, so when she cut the hair, did you think there's significance to that, or she's just being weird?
I thought they were going to use it to threaten her.
That's a good question, because it did kind of just go over my head. I was like, why is she doing that?
Because I don't remember what I thought initially.
But this was also when I still thought that the parents were the suspects. Like, do you think, on that note, like, do you think he wanted us to think that? The director, writer?
No, because they show us them just frozen there.
Yeah.
On the couch. So I immediately thought they were victims. I thought the kid was a demon or something.
I thought that they were demons that were just like...
Or the house was possessed.
Because my mind was, these demons are only seen as demons by a select few of people. That's why we're doing this in sections. Because when we went to the house with the kid in the back of the cop car, the cop seems to be having a normal conversation at a dark door. So that's, up until that point, I'm like, these two parents somehow know how to manipulate the minds of people and these kids. But then, of course, Aunt Gladys shows up and that whole theory gets blown to sky high. But,
I don't feel like they really set up anyone to be like, that's why I say like the movie didn't really have a twist. It just is like, here's the mystery. And then and here's the explanation. There wasn't like this could be. You didn't really see the parents.
It was all, that's the thing. It was me just trying to figure it out myself.
The kid would have, like, was an interesting theory, but at no point when I was watching the movie was I ever thinking that. Like, that never really crossed my mind, because I'm just like, the kid, it just really wouldn't make a lot of sense why the kid would have done it, even if he was bullied. Like,
because the bullying really wasn't like explored that much. I was just like constantly thinking of, what is this going to be?
Yeah, but I had no point with the kid. I was like, I was very scared it was going to be the government when they kept talking about child protective services and stuff. I'm like, oh god, please tell me this isn't going to be like an M. Night Shyamalan twist.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
So I felt like the director and writer were trying to set up a mystery that you can solve, because they kept doing stuff like, he paints the door red. He's like, oh, fine, I'll take it back. Then he puts the paint in the truck, and like you see it, and everybody's like, oh.
That was a really cool reveal.
But it's like stuff like that. I feel like they did it several other times. Like the addict, he was like, hey, can I have some change? They show him briefly, and then he gets his own chapter, and they're like, oh, it's that guy. So I feel like they were trying to set up a reveal, and then didn't execute it right, because they just added this character. But if she was in each story, she was in each story, but barely.
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like the mystery, like the setup alone, was just so good. They didn't even need to like your curiosity and just like what happened to these kids wasn't like enough to be like send you down the Scooby-Doo chase of like, oh, is it old man Jenkins or is it old man this? It was just like, it could be nothing. Like, it could be just like a force that has like
run away.
I wasn't even like necessarily thinking it was a person that was doing this. Like, it could have just been like a hand of God at this point. Like, who even knows? That would have been terrible.
Yeah, it was with the addict specifically. When I saw the trailer, I thought that, when he's running, I thought he was like escaping from whatever these people are being held captive, but he's just trying to look for money for friggin' crack. But I liked his story. He had one of the creepiest parts in like the whole film, like him being in that house. That was creepy. and like him barely being able to get to the door. They don't follow him out, right? The door just stays open and then they close it.
No, yeah, he just runs out.
Yeah.
He runs out and it's just like, what the hell?
The camera was attached to the door.
Goes to the pawn shop.
And then
because he's
struggling to open it, and then it pans over to the parents,
and they're walking so slowly to him. Yeah,
and the camera's still attached. That was a really cool shot.
They did a good job of like the Hereditary. Like, we're gonna show you the scare, but it's still gonna be scary because we're just gonna linger on it, and you're not gonna know exactly when. Like, it's in the background. You can see like when perfect example, even though it was kind of like a fake scare, was like the woman in the store, like that confronted her, like like you see her going like alleys, and you know that like at some point, but, like,
she's
you
gonna
don't know
up.
Exactly when, and that suspense is enough. And I prefer that so much more than just a
But what was
jump scare.
What was the big scare though?
In what
just in the movie, because they keep doing that. Like the door, they knock on her door in the beginning.
The big scares for me were the 2 jump scares in the dreams.
When she's in the ceiling.
Because we don't know who she is
and
yet.
the light turns on and it's
I literally thought they were just seeing a clown.
There were a couple. There were a couple scenes that were like genuine, like, oh my god, I'm like so on edge right
Justine
now.
Justine looks down her hallway and sees nothing, and then she lays back in the bed, and she's just in the ceiling where the ceiling light would be. And when I saw it, I was like, "What is that?"
Yeah,
it didn't look like an old lady.
The only kind of jump scare in the movie.
That and Josh Brolin's dream where it turns into her instead of the kid.
Yeah, true. That was a jump scare.
All the kids turning around in unison freaked me the fuck out too.
That was creepy.
When Justine looks in, freaked me out.
Yeah.
What else was a jump scare?
Not much of a scare. It was not a movie that really relied on jump scares. It relied on tense and like just how good the mystery was. The mystery was so interesting, and just like in that like Lost way where they just keep adding layers and layers, and where it's like, what the hell could the explanation possibly be?
Yeah.
And it's almost like they couldn't give one that was ever going to blow my mind, because I don't know what it could have been.
Noticing the newspapers on the windows at first like made me start like really thinking like what the hell is going on. Pretty much that reveal made me think, okay, something is this house. It's got to be this house.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. And then she was on the phone with the principal, and he was like, well, their kid was the only one that didn't disappear, so I'm sure people are like showing up to her house like you are.
Yeah.
And like the newspaper I did think was weird, but I thought that made sense. Like, oh yeah,
But it wasn't like the principal just like was like, I'll just let this slide. Like he had a meeting with them like literally the next day. Like, he was doing his job. Like it wasn't like neglect on his part. I liked him. He was a very likable character. I'm very sad that he died. Yeah. The way he died.
And he was really trying to not let her in.
Mm-hmm.
And the husband or partner or whatever, boyfriend was like, yeah, come in for a bowl of water.
Bowl of water. That was honestly one of the more uncomfortable moments.
I was like, does this woman think she's a cat?
I was afraid where this was going. I'm
is
like,
she a furry?
Is she a werewolf? Like, what is this?
Like, what is about to happen?
I literally, my mind went there too. I'm like, is this somehow, is she an animal?
Yeah.
Like, no.
And
very cool, very well like written line in a way of just being like, what the fuck?
Yeah, bro. I also thought it was really creepy when he's beating the shit out of the guy on the ground.
Oh my god.
And she's just like casually packing up.
Oh god, my head hurt just watching that.
It's just like he's headbutting him until he's just a bone soup. And then she's just like packing her purse.
You can see his husband's skull breaking.
Yeah.
Was his face also breaking too?
Yeah, that's why his eyes were more visible.
That's
why his eyes were popping out. But then also, like when they're under that spell, in a certain way, their eyes looked like crazier, just as is.
Yeah.
So between him getting his face bashed in and those eyes, he looked so creepy. The makeup artists, I genuinely think that there's a lot of areas to this film that need to be recognized at award shows. Like, I thought the editing was great.
Yeah.
I thought the costume not the costume design, the makeup was great.
Cinematography was
cinematography was great.
Very well shot.
Yeah. It was very good.
Well acted.
Yeah. It did. I will say, even though I walked out thinking I really enjoyed it, it would have been nice if it stayed consistent with like the scariness like the whole way, because it did get to a point at the end where it was like, all right, this is just kind of goofy.
Yeah, the comedy took me out, honestly.
Have you seen Barbarian?
I have not seen Barbarian.
So not that they're in any way similar, like plot wise, but like you see his style of horror.
Yeah.
Like he has a lot of creepy scenes, but he also has comedic relief. Like Bill Skarsgård in Barbarian is hilarious because you suspect him in the beginning to be like the problem, the antagonist, but he's this goofball that's even more petrified than the girl is when it comes to figuring out what's wrong. So it's, I don't know.
Okay, so the guy, I think you mentioned it earlier, but the guy, Josh Brolin's waiting outside of his house because he wants to get the video footage of his kid running away.
Yeah.
Husband pulls up, asks him.
Guy from Tusk.
And then they're like looking at the video, and then it cuts, and the wife is just like pissed off standing there. That I was like, okay, but that I didn't really like that much. And then it just gets goofy.
I did think it was funny though how he knew that he could intimidate the husband.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And like he's not going to intimidate the wife. That's a massive red flag. But he knew that he could get right on the husband's face.
I thought it was a different
saw him like back up
parent. I didn't think it was the same family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love he just went right to the...
He
went out,
waited
outside
lunch.
the house. He's like, I wait.
Yeah, he was eating like a chicken parm sandwich.
He's like,
or
I
something.
know.
I
know
like
what
when
kind
they're
of man
looking
lives
at the
here.
footage.
Act 3, take 1, action.
All right. To be honest, not the most amazing film of the year, but I was pretty satisfied with how scary it was and didn't walk out of it thinking I despise these people for hyping this up for months and then having it be a disappointment. I genuinely enjoyed the majority of it. It was pretty good. Although I will say my final thing that I had beef with would have preferred it staying consistent with horror and not dabbling too much with comedy.
Yeah, same. I enjoyed the movie the whole time. I didn't like the comedic parts, and I don't know, there was just some things I felt that weren't necessary, like the cop character, unless you had tied him in to other characters. And like if you brought all the stories together in like a better way, I guess. The comedy was just like, I didn't like that much, but I thought it was a really good movie. I was on the edge of my seat. I was grossed out and felt uncomfortable at certain points because like the gore and just the director did his job. So yeah.
And I liked it. Now, I would say like for a movie that I had almost impossible expectations for, like the fact that I walked out even liking it remotely is amazing. Like that's a sign of the movie, because those might have been the greatest trailers I've ever seen in my life in terms of like wanting me to see a movie that I no context for, just because I'm like, oh my God, this looks actually really cool. And it could have been terrible. And the fact that it did not disappoint me with those expectations, I have to give it a big thumbs up for that.
I'm grateful.
Even though it was kind of twistless and riskless.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Twistless and riskless is my only critiques.
Twistless, riskless, but I have to say I completely agree. I'm happy, not just me. I'm happy we all walked out of it thinking it may not have lived up to the hype, but it was really, really good.
It was rot. Or no, it's fresh. You don't want to be rotten. You don't want to be rotten.
Yes, you don't want to be rotten.
You don't. Why is it rotten? So you have 96 rotten to. All right.
96 would be the good side of it. If it's rotten, it's on the bad side. We must learn.
See, now I'm clip farming.
I'm giving it a...
Yeah, we give.
Oh, that's true.
I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Damn.
Oh, out of 5. Okay. I was like a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Again, I don't think it's, in compared to Fantastic Four, but I gave Fantastic Four like between a 4 and a 4.2 or something. I'll give this like around the same range, because there were parts that were just like, all right, we could have done a little bit better. Yeah, 4.2. I'll give it that.
So wait, you gave it a 4.5 and you didn't like it?
No, I liked it.
Okay.
It's just
because I don't think I could go higher than a 4.5.
it's just some of the
And I had
things,
a
like
5, and I
some
really
of the
liked it.
logic of the characters, especially the police, and then like some of the story elements. Just
I can't go much higher than a 4.5 because it was pretty damn good. I mean, I'll give it, if I gotta go to 5, I'll give it 4 out of 5. 80%.
I'm happy the criticisms that we had. It's like a lot of it's like, well, you got to suspend disbelief. It's like, okay,
all right, hold on.
It's nitpicking the critiques we have.
Let me go down. Let me go down to 4. Between a 4 and a 4.5, because a 4.5 is like
Almost perfect.
Yeah.
almost perfect. So I'm gonna go.
I'm putting her right around a 4.2, 4.1.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to a 4.
Yeah,
I think it is a very enjoyable movie that I will definitely watch again at some point in my life.
Yeah.
Which I can't say that about a lot of films. Thumbs up.
I'll be showing this to a
Thumbs
lot
up.
of people. I think definitely thumbs up.
See the movie.